Hi, everybody. This is Christine Thomas O'Meally from Metzoid Voice Studio, and I'm coming to you today on Warm Up Wednesday to talk about vocal exercises having to do with resonance. And you might ask, what is resonance? And it is what people usually mean when they ask me to teach them how to project. And I've never really cared for the term project. And the person who put this into words best for me was the American baritone Thomas Hampson. I saw him in master class and somebody said, Mr. Hampson, could you please tell me how you teach people to project? And he said, I don't really like to think about projection because missiles project, bullets project, small children thrown through plate glass windows project, but voices resonate. And that resonated with me. So when we are resonating, we are filling all the nooks and crannies of our faces up with sound and then letting it out via this, I'm stuck to things, via this vehicle. So resonance can be referred to as ping, ring, focus, edge, which I don't like because it sounds like, and I don't particularly care for that. Point. These are all terms that are frequently used when they're saying what you're looking for with a resonant sound. What I like to think about it as is a sound that is balanced. That it's a sound that is not only forward and bright, but it also has space and depth. So in art, the term is chiaroscuro, which means the balance of light, chiaro, and shadow, scuro. So in a painting, if you have a painting that is just a mud-colored canvas and there is no light in it at all, it's not particularly attractive. If you have a painting that is fuchsia and it is there's no shadow to it, it's just bright, 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 that can be a bit well overwhelming. The same thing is true with voices. If I sing a sound that is dark and woofy, behold, a virgin shall conceive and bear a son, well, that sound is not going to be all that attractive. A lot of people get away with it. If a sound is too bright, behold, a virgin shall conceive and bear a son. It must be December. I can sing, O thou that tellest good tidings to Zion, if you just woke me from a coma. Ideally, what you're going to find is a sound that has the depth of behold, but also has the brightness of behold. Behold! Hopefully that sounded different than the first one. It wasn't pulled back and it wasn't really forward. So exercises that you do for this, well, first of all, think about what your resonators are. You have three. There's the throat, right above the vocal folds and out. There's your mouth. And then there's your nose. This is the smallest, and if the sound is in there, the sound will sound like this. It's going to be very nasal. All you have to do to test to see if you're nasal is to pinch your nose. If I'm singing, the sound does not change. Fun things you can do with your nose. If I'm nasal, I have a really hard time being nasal. I'm kind of hyponasal. I notice this when I dictate things. Sometimes when I dictate things that are supposed to have nasal consonants, they don't come out nasal. So I have to really go too far. I could do that for hours. Yeah, I have to go way too far in order to find nasality at all. So how do we keep the sound from being in the nose? We have to go to one of the articulators, which is a soft palate. If the soft palate is raised, your sound will not be in your nose. And that has to happen on the inhalation. There are ways you can talk about raising the soft palate after the fact, but they seem manipulative to me. To me, it has to feel like it's from a good, low, comfortable, quiet inhalation. Then everything feels like it opens up here and opens up down there. So, I just dropped my soft palate in the middle of that. So, your resonators, nose, mouth, throat, have to work in combination with your articulators, your tongue, your lips, your soft palate. Those are the ones you have control over. Your teeth and your hard palate are passive articulators. Things move against them. I suppose if your teeth came out, they could be voluntary if you wanted to kick them out every so often to create a sound or startle someone. Anyway, so exercises that I frequently use for resonance. A lot of them are with nasal consonants, because you start out with you're going from filling your nose with sound. And if you pinch your nose while humming, this is what happens. I could do the same thing on an N. So, each of those have validity depending on what you're doing with them. If you're singing a sound in your lower range, I like to use M. Me. So my soft palate has been dropped so I could do the M, and then it kind of flips up when I go to the E. Me. If it doesn't flip up, the sound will be me. I'm not doing anything except grabbing my nose, I swear. As I go higher, I like to use N because it feels different. The M feels very lateral and wide in my mouth. And when I'm going up into my upper register, I want to keep the sound a little more forward. So I'll think of an N because this is here. The tongue is up against, tip of your tongue is up against your alveolar ridge, which is basically behind your upper front teeth. I couldn't decide what vowel to do. I'm going to go nay. So, when I am going into my upper register, I might want to switch over to an NG. The M, as I said, feels very wide and feels very lateral. The N feels very forward. The NG feels much more central to me. Your mileage may vary. The NG feels much more vertical, center of my head. I feel more balance there. So if I go, and this is the tip of the tongue down in front of your mouth and the back of the tongue is up, it's that sound when the dentist is asking you questions and his hands are in your mouth. So, notice I'm not doing no, I'm just letting the back of the tongue lower. Fun things to do with your back of your tongue. I can take that exercise. It usually feels very stuck for me around F sharp. Some people can go higher. retracted. I just saw that. You'd be surprised at how small it feels when you go up there on the NG and how big it feels when you open up to the ah. It can be kind of disconcerting. So nasal consonants are great. Yum, 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 yum. Doing things like a nya, nya, yum, 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 yum. And then maybe you want to take that and go yum, 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 yum. Oh, yum, 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 yum. Oh, with the idea that you are keeping that sound engaged. You don't have to do just nasal consonants. And years ago, I read an article in the Journal of Singing called Lip Trills and Raspberries, High Spit Factor Alternatives to the Nasal Continuance. And the contention in that article, which I believe was written, I know was written by Jean Westerman Gregg, and I think John Nix was her co-author, was that nasal consonants can create tension for some people and reinforce nasality for people who are already nasal, which I can totally see. So if you wanted to do it from a SOVETE, from a, if you wanted to do, those work for you in finding that connection to the breath, that freedom of the articulators, that you're getting the sound spinning. You can't be nasal on a lip trill, so that if especially if you have a tendency towards nasality, because you could still be. I can't do nasality on th. I'm not nasal. It's just not my thing. I probably should have tried that out before I started, but that's my thing, is I am hyponasal, meaning I have not enough nasality. So I can get it when I need it, but it really, I have to work at nasality. So those are the kind of exercises that I think are effective. If you are nasal, doing an exercise like this, I got from a speech therapy book and made it into an exercise. Betty was Bob's big sister. If you're nasal, it is Betty was Bob's big sister. Betty, 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 Betty. If you're looking to try to find a non-nasal sound, make the most hideously nasal sound you can. Pinch your nose and then make it go away. So if I go, and then feel what that felt like inside your mouth. It may take you longer than it takes me. I'm not really opening my mouth more. I'm creating more space in the back. Other things to think about are that if your tongue is retracted, your tongue is way pulled back. I am reducing the amount of space I have for the sound to ring, which is going to make it dark and woofy. If I'm pressing my tongue forward, I'm going to be nasal. I'm going to be too bright, and it also doesn't feel good. So those are things to think about, how you are shaping the articulators. Oh, here's an exercise if you have a weak, soft palate. I think I got this from the Lara Browning Henderson How to Train Singers book that I used as vocal pedagogy as an undergrad. Key, 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 key. Coo, 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 coo. K, 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 K. Caw, 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 caw. Etc. Anything else I like? I got this from a friend. Mingy, mingy, mingo. Mingy, mingy, mingo. I don't do it very often because I have trouble playing with it. I like this one. This is the one I use all the time for myself. That is my quick and dirty way to warm up. It just does it for me as far as getting a really balanced tone quality. Going up, I might change it. Going up, it becomes more about vowel modification. Sometimes I'll change to ooh. Again, it becomes about vowel modification. So those are resonance exercises. Next week, I'd like to do a session about how to structure your warm-up session. And I might have a giveaway. So thank you very much, and I hope you had a great Thanksgiving, and we'll see you next week.